You know these TV shows with the dragons and lions, and every time when food is being sold, the dragons get some salmon. Only seeing it is a torture, but I'm a big fan of fish and rice. So perhaps for the next presentation you can work on that. I do like a lot that you chose a topic which is very close to your heart, and that you, not of your heart only, but also to the heart of your people, and that you made it a personal challenge. I think this is always very inspiring. And on the product conclusion, as much as I understood here was, I very much like also that you are doing that as a challenge for different authorities within your countries, that you are reaching out, that you are bringing together the different expertises which you need to develop that kind of index insurance, and that you're breaking silos. I think this is extremely important, and but also challenging.
I like a lot that you choose a very important product for the economy and the people, and that you quantify that 500,000 people will be affected, maybe 100,000 the potential to purchase it, so this product can achieve scale, which is a very important precondition. Then I like that you picked on lessons from earlier products, so this story of the false claims. And if I understood it correctly, you're insuring the income loss and not the boat, if that's correct. Yeah, so that's a new approach, which I like. And that you involve the association. They can play a very important role in informing fishermen, because that will be a huge cost to the insurer, and if somebody else can help who is close to the fishermen, that will be a supportive element. So thank you very much.
And yes, I mean, just to echo what Matthias and Martina have said, the passion and the understanding of the challenges at hand is obvious, and it also shows in terms of how the problems and the context are so well presented and thought through, and the real issues to be addressed are. And the overview and how it would look like going forward and what all needs to be in place have been identified as well. So that's commendable. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for that presentation. That was really inspiring. I also very much like that it's so close to your heart, that it's something very locally based, that builds the local markets. I think that's one of the aspects that I really liked, apart from that you've done a lot of work, you've put a lot of efforts in building really a strong foundation to build from this. But this may, even thinking and taking into account that this may even have the effect of younger people either returning to this line of work or staying in that line of work because they see a future. I think this is really in terms of another part of sustainability and long-term approach. I think this is really a great aspect. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. Do you want to keep with the constructive feedback now, and then ask the management back to us?
I can do that, yes. It'll be a short one. I'm not sure if I understood everything correctly. I was just immediately thinking when you talked about wind speed as sort of the relevant aspect, that I think it may be very valid to build on the extensive work that has been done by Willis. Also thinking about a project that we have supported in the Mesoamerican Reef region, where exactly wind speed is the crucial hazard or the factor they've put to the index solution. So I think this may be a part where you can build on already a lot of research and development work done.
Thank you. On the constructive feedback side, I mean, and this is essentially a follow-up from the discussions we had yesterday. It is sometimes we are so invested in the problem that we want to solve all aspects of it in one go. Because it's our life, it's our life. We actually see that day in and day out. So obviously, when we think of solutions, we want to address all the facets that come with it. And hence, the suggestion that I would like the team to consider is to break down the different benefits or the utility that you would like such a solution or an intervention to offer. Break it down in terms of this should be the first priority, there should be the second to work on, there should be the third. Maybe we'll reflect on where insurance is the best and optimal solution around it. Could there be other financing mechanisms or government interventions which could be relevant there per se? Because I think that interplay would be important given just the ambition of the vision that you have. So I think that is extremely relevant in my opinion to consider. And yeah, I would very much look forward to how things start, like the hard thinking part is done. Now the practicality informed outline needs to be drawn and that skeleton needs to be fleshed out. And I would very much look forward to see how that evolves and see if you will be able to help in that process as well. Thank you.
Well, I liked to hear you talking about a good product and not a perfect product. And having a good product is already a high bar. So I think you could learn still more from what makes a good product and where failures are hidden. Because sometimes they are very much hidden in little details. For example, how many days in advance people have to purchase the insurance to be covered, because if you know a cyclone is coming, you can't purchase it anymore. People will be frustrated, but it's important to explain to them. So applying the SWABI criteria, simple, understandable, affordable and valuable, you could study much more in detail what it means for your product. And then I would like to highlight a topic on the subsidies. I'm very much in favor of leveraging government subsidies, but I have seen too many products which fail because then all of a sudden the subsidy would not flow, or there was a promise, or the pot runs out of money. So I have also seen experiences in countries where products were sold without subsidies. And they were sold because they were piggybacked on an input provider, on an association, on another product, and people could really afford the premium. So a model without subsidies, it's at least worth to study. Thank you.
Like eating fish doesn't make me a fisherman, I know that, and I don't really have much experience with fishery industries, but I think that the challenges which you have in the fishing industry are quite powerful. Right? You do have your production risk as normal, but you also have theft, you do have loss of equipment, what you want to approach, you do have also the climate change, you have the slow onsets, and you do have the fast onsets. And of course also in fishery, and I think in the front of Africa you have a serious issues with overfishing and with international complications. So I think it's a very complex setup, and I would also like to stress that insurance is definitely not the silver bullet, and also not index insurance doesn't really work for everything. So I would also encourage you to further investigate, to look into perhaps on hybrid solutions, how you can combine indemnity products with certain things, and perhaps also to envision the perfect product, and to see how it all fits together, to make it also, like if you do have a certain bad experience with insurance products, to give them also the easy chances to see the benefits, to have small payouts here and there, so that the trust is being built up. And also, especially as you reach out already to all the different authorities, and I see also Start Network here also to really work together with the disaster risk management authorities, with the humanitarian sector, to really to incorporate that into a disaster risk management, because again, many slow onset stuff can be is more focused on what you can really do in this production, and for that you need credible products. All this combination of a more of a broader vision, broader solution. Try to make it perfect, and then see how the people are reacting, and perhaps you have different test zones. But thanks, I'm really excited to learn more about it in the future.
Thank you.